team opportunities. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey, you guys, thank you for joining me today here on our YouTube Live. We go live every Tuesday at noon Central to answer some of the questions for you, and hopefully you leave with all your questions answered. So that being said, go ahead and go to the chat, enter in the chats, the comments, whatever, enter in your question. If you're wondering about a specific area, please include the city and state or the zip code, one or the other. So the combination of the two or the zip code, and then I'll be able to tell you what we have available out of your area. And if you provide the amount of experience that you have, I'll be able to further give you details on the rate of pay and all of that good stuff. So I want to start off with saying, with our rate of pay, we do have a guaranteed minimum, no matter what division you are in, whether it's home weekly or if it's over the road, if it's refrigerated, if it's flatbed, we do have that option. Now, for our teams, however, our teams are paid on a little bit different. They are paid per mile, which is what we pay in our other divisions as well, but we have that guaranteed minimum. With the teams, you have the opportunity to make more with the bonuses, then of course the sign-on bonus, which covers the annual bonus or for your first year. And then you also have bonuses, monthly bonuses throughout as well, and which we just actually paid bonuses yesterday for our monthly bonuses when it comes to our scorecard and our safety bonus. So we're going to dive into all of that and give you a little bit of input. So as always, again, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for those. Sound all right? All right, let's rock and roll. If you have any questions and want to talk to a recruiter directly, the number that's flying across your screen, 877-4-DECKER, 877-433-2537, will get you directly to one of our recruiters. You can also apply online at drivedecker.com. There's information right there on all of these positions that we're talking about today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we go. In our team division, now the positions that we're looking for right now with our teams, that one is running a lot of the Pacific Northwest as well as the Midwest. So it's back and forth for the most part, but we do have some dedicated team runs that you might help out on if those team members are on home time or if they're taking vacation. So you could be weaved in and out of that dedicated run, which is a hands-on position. Where most of our freight is no-touch freight, this specific dedicated that you might help on is a touch freight. So those are bread loads where you're rolling them on and off the truck. They are heavy loads. They're roughly about 300 to 400 per cart that's rolling on and off. I was trying to think of the word. So those 300 to 400 pounds rolling them on and off. But with a team member, you can be safe rolling those off. I do know that some teams do them individually. You just need to know how to balance and roll those controllably down into the shipper and receivers. So, all right. So that's the first part. We do pay extra for any of the loading and unloading. It's $50 per load for the drivers to split on each one of those. And then, of course, when it comes to the rest of the runs, which are no-touch freight, then you're doing a lot more drop and hook in those cases. But again, it's a lot of the Pacific Northwest, like Washington, Northern Oregon, Utah, some Montana, Idaho, and then we've got a lot of freight in the Midwest, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Southern Minnesota, Kansas City area is really busy. Now I'm giving you common running areas, but that doesn't mean that you would only run those locations. You would actually have the opportunity to run coast to coast. We've got freight in all 48 for the most part. We don't do a lot of the Northeast. It's very, very minimal there. And if you're looking to stay out, you're probably safe because we don't do that much. But the Midwest and the Northwest are going to be quite busy for areas. Your average miles per week as a team are about 5,000 to 5,500. on this one. Again, this is not a dedicated run. You could be helping out on the dedicated with this team position, but this is not a dedicated position that's currently available. The 5,000, 5,500 or so a week, on average, would put you roughly around $3,000 for the weekly split. And then, of course, your rate of pay per mile goes up based off of the miles that you run. So let's dive into that explanation so you have a little bit more, a clearer picture of that. When it comes to your weekly pay, you get paid every Friday, direct deposit. Make sure you get your paperwork in by Sunday night at 10 p.m. in order to get paid that following Friday. Now, the amount that you'll be paid each and every week is going to be 60 cents a mile. So it's 30 cents per driver because you're paid on all miles. Whether you run it or your team member runs it, it's all miles to the truck, they're split. And all pays, all extra pays and stuff as well. So all to the truck, it's split. 60 cents a mile, 10 cents of that's per diem. So 5 cents a piece will not be taxed, and so you'll be able to have a little bit more take home each and every week based off of that. Now, in addition to your weekly pay, your miles will add up, and anything over 18,000 miles a month will get an extra 8 cents a mile. Now, there are levels to that. 12 to 14 is 2 cents a mile, 4 cents a mile for 14 to 16,000 miles a month, 16 to 18,000 miles a month is 6 cents a mile, and anything over 18,000 is an extra 8 cents a mile. But I brought up just the 8 cents a mile because you're going to be averaging 5 to 5,500 a week. You're going to be over that 18,000 miles for the month. We have a couple of teams that do more super solo miles. That's an option if you want, but we are looking for teams to run, and we've got the miles to keep you moving. So you're looking at about 5 to 5,500 a week for your miles as a team. So expect over 18,000 miles, and that's where that extra cents per mile is going to be paid to you around the third pay period of the month following that. So, for example, everything that you ran in March will be paid on a weekly basis, right? Week by week, you'll get your mileage pay. The additional mileage pay, that extra 8 cents a mile bonus on all the miles that you completed for the month, will be paid the third week of the month following. So the third week in April, which is about right now, right? Well, for one bonus, it would have been yesterday. So this would be the mileage bonus, and this will be on this Friday's check, is how that works. Okay? We're good so far? Everybody's on it? All right. So that's how that'll work. That's roughly an extra $800 to $1,000 a week, or excuse me, $800 to $1,000 per driver more than what you would have gotten before. So let's take 5,000 miles. Easy number. We'll take that and say you're running 5,000 miles a week, and you add an extra 8 cents a mile to that, or excuse me, another 8 cents a mile to that 5,000. That's an extra $400 per week that you would expect. So if you're looking at roughly 20,000 miles for the month, then you're looking at an extra 8. That's about $1,600 for the truck. So it's about $800 per driver that you'd be getting more for that bonus. That's the mileage bonus. But that's just one of the bonuses that you have as a team. There are several. Now that is the month to month, and that will continue on with your rate of pay per mile. The one that we have that is just for the first year is going to be part of our sign-on bonus. This is the accelerated sign-on bonus. It's a $5,000 sign-on bonus that pays out quarterly within the first year, $1,250 each quarter, okay? So $1,250 each quarter from the date of hire. So if you didn't start until April 1st, you're going to get your first quarter in July. Right? So that's how that works. It's going to be based off of your hire date, not the actual quarters of the year, like the normal January starts in April type thing. Okay? So you'll get paid quarterly within your first year of working here at Decker, and that will be your $1,250 split to the truck. So it's $5,000 total for the year on that part of the bonus. But I mentioned that it's an accelerated sign-on bonus. So the more miles that you run within that quarter, the extra pay or the extra bonus will be paid out along with that $1,250. And again, that's going to be split to the truck. So whatever you run as a team is what will count. So let's take, for example, the okay, so let's talk about the minimum requirement is $25,000 or 25,000 miles for the quarter. You'll get an extra 5 cents a mile on top of that. So you don't have to run 25,000 miles for the quarter in order to get the $1,250, that part of the quarterly bonus, or that part of the quarterly sign-on bonus. However, the extra 5 cents a mile, you have to run over 25,000 in order to get that. So all the miles over 25,000 for the quarter, you're going to get an extra 5 cents a mile for. And again, that's going to be split to the truck. So if you're running roughly, let's even just use 20,000 as an easy number for the quarter, and you've got about 20,000 for the month, which would put you at about 60,000 for the quarter. Everything over the 25,000 will be paid the extra 5 cents a mile, right? Okay, everybody's following so far. So over 25,000, so you've got 35,000, which would get you an extra 5 cents a mile on all the miles. Now this is for the first year, which would put you to about an extra $1,750 on top of the $1,250 that you get for the quarter. Perfect. So now we're on task. That's for the team accelerated sign-on bonus. That's for the first year that you're here. Then like I said, you've got the mileage bonus that will continue on beyond the first year. And then you've got the monthly bonuses, which is very similar to our monthly bonuses, our scorecard and our safety bonus that our solo drivers have, both our company and our owner-operator lease purchase drivers. So as a team driver, you have the opportunity to make an extra 5 cents a mile on all of the miles that you completed for the month, for the previous month. So everything that was completed in March, you can get an extra 5 cents a mile from if you have a perfect scorecard and a perfect safety score. A perfect scorecard is 1,000 points. Now, if you don't get 1,000 points, but maybe you made 850, then you'll get a portion of that payout instead of the full 4 cents a mile. Safety, as long as you received 20 points or less, so as perfect score being 0, as long as you got a safety of 20 points or less, then you'll get an extra penny per mile for that. So again, that's the 5 cents total between the two of them. If you had 850 or 900, you could be getting 3 cents a mile at 900 versus the 4 at a perfect score. For the scorecard, if you had 850, you'd be looking at 2 cents or a cent per mile instead of the perfect score of 1,000 and getting 4 cents a mile. Okay? All right, we're still on task. And then that will pay out around the third week of the month following when you ran it. So everything in March paid out yesterday for the scorecard. And let's just take a look actually of what that scorecard is. We paid out, as on the company's side, over $87,000 for the month of March. These are March's bonuses. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. March bonuses totaled $87,984.41. That's a combination of both the scorecard and the safety bonuses, and it's also including both the company drivers and the owner-operator lease purchase. And you can see here with the company drivers, this is going to include our teams as well. So we paid on average an additional $187 per driver on the company side. Now, not everybody got 187, obviously. That's the average. So we had some that were running closer to the 400, some that were going to be closer to 100, and vice versa. It's all depending on the criteria for the scorecard, which, by the way, the criteria for the scorecard is going to be your idle time, your fuel compliance, your miles, preventable accidents, CSA violations, on-time delivery, service claims. Those are all factors within your scorecard, and they're all weighed a little bit different. If you go onto your scorecard within the TransFlow app, whether it be on your phone or on the tablet itself that's provided in the truck, you'll be able to see the breakdown of the scorecard each month. You can also log in to your TransFlow app on your phone or your tablet and look at your safety score. The safety score, you just log in using the same information that you would for your Geo tab in order to access that data. So you know where your points are, where you can improve, and if you have any questions, reach out to your driver manager so that they can review that with you. You can also reach out to the safety department for details on that as well. Okay, so that is the safety and the scorecard bonus, which pays out monthly. And again, that's roughly $200. So let's say anywhere, well, yesterday was $187 on average. So that kind of gives you an idea of per driver how much of a bonus to get on that. So now I've mentioned you've got your sign-on bonus, you've got your monthly mileage bonus, you've got that's solely based off of the miles that you ran, and then you've got your scorecard bonus, which does take into effect the miles you ran. You've got your safety bonus, which is based off of your safety score alone, which is the lytics system here at Decker. And so that is 4 bonuses right there. And then, so let's see, the sign-on bonus, the accelerated sign-on bonus, the mileage bonus, the safety and scorecard bonus, and of course your regular rate of pay. So you've got a lot of growth opportunity there. So that's for our teams. And again, this is running a lot of the Northwest and a lot of Midwest. We do require that you're out 4 weeks at a time in order to make sure that we're getting you the miles and the home time where needed, because you guys are running all over the place. And ideally, you're living somewhere between the Missoula, Montana area on 90 over to Des Moines, Iowa. Somewhere along that route is ideal. Now, we do have some positions available for our teams outside of that, but ideally, you're running around those routes you're living around those routes because the majority of the route itself is right there. So you better be right along there. But we do have opportunities available for teams anywhere west of the Mississippi River, because that's where most everything will be running from anyway. Excellent. All right, so we have that opportunity. If this sounds like something that you are looking for, reach out to us at 877-433-2537, 877-4-DECKER. And we can get you moving. And again, you can also apply online at drivedecker.com, drivedecker.com. So let's talk qualifications. The position does require that you have a valid Class A CDL and are at least 21 years of age. If you are an experienced driver, then we don't have to worry about any of the training, and you can go right into the team driving right out of the bat. If you are an inexperienced driver, you have to do the training before you can start running as a team. So you would go with one of our trainers for 3 weeks, get paid $700 a week while you're with a trainer before you can transition into any of our team opportunities. Just like any of our solo positions, it's requiring experience. Now, that said, as long as you have over 5 months of experience, we won't require that additional training with one of our trainers. You will have a 3-day orientation in Fort Dodge, Iowa. It goes over the company policies, procedures, running the reefer unit, kind of going the ins and outs. And of course, we have the shop meet with you as well and go over all of our amenities that are available in our truck, which are a lot. APUs, refrigerators, inverters, microwaves, television. Comes with a complete 100+ channels of Epic View satellite TV. We have free Wi-Fi through the tablet, the TransFlow tablet. We have both inward and outward facing event recorders through the lytics safety system. We have a CB unit available, or not only available, but in the truck. They're all installed. We have both the seats are air ride seats, so you and the co-pilot, the co-driver, are sitting in comfort. They are double bunk trucks. Most of them are the 579 Peterbilts. We do have some 860 and 780 Volvos, but it's all based off of availability. So that one, I wouldn't be able to guarantee you a Peterbilt or a Volvo without knowing what's available for that weekend. We do have some Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions as well. So Music Central, hey, thank you for everything you do for me. Absolutely. Tell us more. What's the deal? And then for the trucks, besides them having all of those amenities and the shop going through all of those details so that you can have them, we do have some troubleshooting and best practices resources that you can use as well, not only on our YouTube channel, but also available through our company policies and procedures manual, our how-to guides. We have quite a few of those available to you. So you've got those to back you up. And of course, you have the ART program, which is our ambassador program. And you'll be able to reach out to any of those members to help answer questions that you might have on the road. Because when you start with a new company, there's always questions, right? We do our best to put as much information that will be helpful in the orientation, but it's a lot of information and you can't always retain everything. So that's why you have the ongoing support while you're out on the road. All right, so back to orientation. Before you even get to orientation, you have the online orientation, which consists of videos followed by a couple of questions, another video by some more questions, and so on and so forth as you prep for the physical orientation in Fort Dodge, Iowa. We'll take care of your rental car, your flight, whichever you prefer, whichever we can get you to orientation for your convenience. We do have a repayment agreement so that we have you recognize this is what Decker invested in order to get you here, to get you going. If you left within the first 6 months, you could be responsible for a portion of that. Other than that, every month we waive $100, and at 6 months it's washed, so it doesn't even matter. And so we've got that. We've got a hotel room. Your meals are covered as well. We do the physical and the drug test before you come to orientation, the urinalysis and the physical. If you have a current physical, we can often work with that as long as it's good for another 6 months and that you've had it at least 6 months. And then we'll have to have the full long form in order to get that approved, to get that signed off and approved. And then, of course, when you come to Fort Dodge, we do have the hair follicle drug test as well. So we'll do that once you get to Fort Dodge. So, other than that, the three-day orientation, we do pay you $1,000 for, and so that's going to kick in as soon as you'll get that usually Friday, or at least half of that on Friday, and get you rolling. So you get in your truck usually Wednesday night. Thursday morning is normally when you're getting dispatched out. Getting you to work, that's what you're looking for, right? Putting you to work. We can do that. Again, if you guys have any questions on that, reach out to us at 877-433-2537. Now, we don't only take teams. We do have some solo positions, especially in our over-the-road refrigerated division and our more regional home weekly position. If you live in Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas City area, Omaha, Nebraska area, southern Minnesota, we've got some home weekly options available for you as well. Again, it depends on where you live in those states. Pretty much all of Iowa can get you home on a weekly basis, but for the most part, it's where, north of 80 in our refrigerated division is usually home weekly, like in Illinois and Indiana or whatever. But again, 877-433, change my number on me, 877-4-DECKER, 877-4-DECKER, or go to drivedecker.com. Charles says, do y'all do flatbed? We do. We have both over the road and home weekly options available in our flatbed right now. It depends on where you live. So if you want to throw in your zip code or your city and state, I can give you an idea of what we have available in your area. But as just a broad overlook, Midwest is very heavy with flatbed freight for us as well as refrigerated. So if you live in parts of Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, southern Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, I'm trying to think here, parts of Oklahoma, the eastern part of Oklahoma, and Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, the eastern part of Texas, Dallas and Houston areas, and then of course Louisiana, Mississippi, what else? Alabama and Georgia are fantastic for us. We have a flatbed terminal out of Bessemer, Alabama. The Carolinas, of course, are really busy, especially North Carolina, and all the way over to Pittsburgh. So those are going to be most of our running areas. And the home weekly options are more so in areas of Alabama, Georgia, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, the Omaha area, Nebraska. So that kind of gives you an idea. And rate of pay per mile is going to be based off of your experience level. It goes up to 70 cents a mile for someone with over 15 years of experience. 10 cents of that's per diem, so you're not taxed on it. You do qualify for the sign-on bonus, which is an accelerated sign-on bonus for the flatbed division as well as the reefer division. So anything over 20,000 miles for the quarter in the flatbed will get paid an extra 5 cents a mile on all those miles over 20,000. In addition to the base flat line of the sign-on bonus, which is 5,000, so it's $12.50 each quarter, plus 5 cents on all the miles over 20,000. Kind of gives you an idea. Are you manual or stick shift? We are mostly automatics with the trucks, the 579 Peterbilts, the Volvos, the Freightliners. Most of those are automatics. Now, that being said, you probably will see every once in a while a 389 Peterbilt that is a manual, but those are few and, well, I shouldn't say few and far between. We have quite a few of them, but they are for our veteran drivers. So they've been here for 15 plus years, and they get to spec some of their trucks. So they're not as roomy on the interior, but man, they look good going down the road. But all of our trucks have the microwave, the double bunks, the refrigerator. The beds are the extra long twin, so when you're looking for sheets and stuff like that. I think I said microwaves and refrigerators. So yeah, very, very well equipped trucks. They do have the free Wi-Fi, so you can stream books on tape or audio or whatever. We have, all of our trucks are equipped with the Sirius radio. You would just have to have the subscription for that, where we pay the subscription for your Epic View satellite TV. That's the 100 plus channels. Plus we have Best Pass, DriveWise, we have Easy Pass, K-Tags, all of those included. On our Freightliners, we do have solar panels on the top of our trucks. That helps with the APU. So we're testing that out on our Freightliner. So you see them on there, but probably won't on the others. And so far that's been great because it's keeping the life, like enduring, keeping the life of the APU a little bit longer. So those are really nice. We do have a fuel solution available to you, so you'll be seeing those. I'm trying to think of what else. What else you might be asking me for those. They are 48 foot for the flatbed, 53 foot for the reefer trailers. Yeah. But the running lane for flatbed doesn't really run west of the Rockies. So most of the running lane for the flatbed is going to be east of the Rockies, where our over-the-road division for the refrigerated is going to be more coast to coast. It's a lot of the west of the Mississippi for the most part. So you do a lot of Pacific Northwest as well as Midwest. But the home weekly options can keep you within a more confined area. So you wouldn't be running as far west with the home weekly. Usually. There's some exceptions to that if we've got a good load to get you out and back. But that's a little bit more on the individual discussion as well. You know, what we can do to, what are you looking for? Are we a good fit type of thing? So if you want to speak to a recruiter directly, the best thing to do is get a hold of them at 877-4-DECKER, 877-433-2537. I started to spell it out. I was going to. All right, that being said, and we talked a little bit about the different positions that we have. We talked about our equipment. Let's talk benefits. Benefits start after 60 days. Yes, we have a rider policy, ages 10 to 69. We also have a dog policy, no more than 85 pounds as for one dog, and two dogs can't weigh more than 40 pounds combined. So there's a dog policy available to you as well if that's something you guys are interested in. But for the regular benefits, the medical, dental, vision, prescription, long-term, short-term insurance, all of that good stuff, that starts after 60 days. We also have a 50% match on the 401k that's available to you as well after 60 days. So you can get all of those details from any of our recruiters. We can email those directly so that you can kind of look at the breakdown. I know it's nice for some of you who are on prescriptions to kind of have some of the benefit information ahead of time to make sure that your prescriptions are covered. That's always that peace of mind. I can tell you with our insurance program, we do have a $0 generic. So if you are on a generic prescription, as long as you're not getting it at Walgreens or CVS, it will be a $0 generic cost. We have some brand names and some specialty drugs that also fall under that $0 copay. But like with the generics, it's 100% of them at those other locations. So again, that's the easiest way to say it. If you have questions, though, the best thing to do is just to reach out to us, and then we can go ahead and send you the details to look over. The amount of insurance, like life insurance and short-term, long-term disability, things like that, you can increase that. We do have a $10,000 policy on you and a $5,000 on your spouse that we will purchase for the life insurance, but you can increase it. I know I personally did. It was really cost effective. I've got insurance elsewhere, and that one is, this one is definitely less expensive for the same coverage. So, what else? Benefit-wise, we have, you get a lot of discounts. You know, you can get computer discounts like Dell and Verizon, and discounts here and there as well. But the benefits are extensive. There's a lot of hidden ones that you don't even recognize are there because they kind of fall into that Wellmark system where and you get this, and you get discounts here, and you get discounts there. And so like gym memberships, it doesn't cover the whole cost of gym memberships, but you get discounts at certain ones. It's Blue 365 is one of the websites that you want to check out, blue365.com, which kind of gives some of those additional insights on some of those additional things. But yeah, our benefits start after 60 days of employment, and on the 61st day. And that paperwork has to be done. It's handed to you usually in orientation. Has to be done before the 60 days. Otherwise, you're outside of the open enrollment period. Usually in December is normally another open enrollment that you can do. Otherwise, the only time you can change is if you had a life-altering event, like if you guys got married or a birth of a child, or if there was a death or a loss of employment where you had insurance. Those are things that would create an open enrollment for you for your insurance or for your benefits. Otherwise, more so insurance than anything. But I think that's pretty normal. I think you guys are well aware of those. Just want to make sure you had all those details. For Flatbed, we do require, I know I'm jumping over here, but I just was thinking, for Flatbed, most of our loads are tarped, so you'll be required to tarp and secure loads. If tarping is new to you, we have full training available on that. Hands-on training, you'll have demonstrations as well as the hands-on. And then, of course, we have some resources on our YouTube channel as well for teaching you how to do that. Shout out, by the way, to Jesse Carter. Jesse is one of our trainers. He did a fantastic job of putting together a quick couple videos for me on how to fold tarps here this last week. So he was able to do that. One reminder that I would say is when you are, after you've delivered a load and you've removed the tarps, please make sure that they are folded, they're rolled correctly, and set up in good condition. If they are not in good condition, if they are shredded and need to be replaced, please reach out to the shops so that we can get those replaced to or for that specific flatbed. Because our trailers, a lot of these are going to be preloaded trailers for you guys, both in the refrigerated and flatbed divisions, and we need to make sure that they're all running well. So when you're dropping off a trailer, make sure you report any damage that might have been there, either when, after you picked it up or before you picked it up. Please report. Always do a full pre-trip and post-trip so that we can get get those trailers taken care of, especially when you're not, they're not under a load, so that you're not waiting on us. But it's all part of our team effort in making sure that our equipment is top of the line. You can tell that we've got our newer model trucks. I know we're known for our equipment for the most part. Average age is roughly 18 months, usually around the 350, well, more 400 mark is when we're swapping those out and getting new trucks for you. So you'll see new trucks coming in. As they come in, we upgrade our more veteran drivers, guys who've been here a little bit longer, and then continue those rotations. So yeah, that's part of how it works, right? All right, you guys, again, if you have any other questions, please reach out to us at 877-4-DECKER, 877-433-2537, and we'll get you more details. I appreciate you being here with me today. We will see you next week live here on our YouTube channel, next Tuesday at noon Central. And of course, don't forget, we go live on Facebook on Mondays at 4 p.m. Central, so you can join us there as well. Okay, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your week.